Hello folks, I'm Anticio Duke and I want to thank you for stopping by. I know a lot of times we make plans and things don't go as planned. And then when we rework those plans, it actually turns out better than the first time. So if you ever been in that boat where you had to rework your plan, this conversation is for you. That's what we're going to talk about this week, rework. Stay tuned for more. Hello folks and welcome. This week's topic is called Rework and it's based on the book Rework. It's written by Jason Fried and David Hansson. I always screw it up. I'm sorry, Dave. I do apologize. But if you know anything about them, they're great founders of a company called 37 Signals in Chicago, software development, also Ruby on Rails. If you don't know, just look them up. Very great individuals and they've done great work. So this week's topic is based on that particular book. But there's a couple of key things in this book. It's an unorthodox book based on like life, business, startup mentality, the whole nine. So you can get this wide array of knowledge just from reading that book. A few key points that stood out to me from the book is number one, be a starter. And that's with anything in life. Because literally everything happens when you start, when you gain momentum and you push through something. All you really need is an idea, some confidence, and a little push to get started with anything, and it'll change your life forever. So that's number one that really stood out. Just start. That's it. Number two, no time is no excuse. And that's with anything you're trying to do in life. Right? Whether it's lose weight, start a business, build a relationship, or repair one for that matter. Never say that you have no time, because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. There's always time to do what you really want. It just takes you to have to want it bad enough to set aside and make time for it, right? But here's the reality of it. You have to do it because the perfect time will never exist. So just be aware of that, be mindful of that, and go for it, right? And then the last topic we'll talk about, number three, just for today, is something related to business and sort of company development and startup mentality. This one is related to funding. Outside money should be like your last resort, should be plan Z. So outside money should be plan Z. The reason for that is when you accept money from investors or whatever, let me say this, avoid it for a couple different reasons. Number one, you give up control. You give up some control of your company in whatever capacity that looks like. You'll have to answer to somebody who's funding you. And a lot of people don't really like that. Some people think entrepreneurship is a one-stop shop or I'm in charge and things of that nature. Well, when you're accepting money from others, you don't have full control. You have to answer to someone. So understand that. That's number one. Number two, quality diminishes, right? Because when you're chasing that momentum of cashing out, that if that starts to supersede your quality, then you've lost 100%, right? Like the mentality of it is gone and it's shaped and it's deteriorated at that point. So you need to be mindful of quality over cashing out. So there's, that's something to really understand. And also like addictive spending, right? When you're spending someone else's money for what your projects are, it becomes addictive. There's no cost really, so you're not really mindful of costs and cutting corners a lot of times, and stuff like that. And it's easy to start giving up more of your company and at that process, because the more you spend, I'm sure there's some dynamics to that in terms of how you negotiate. So I don't know what that looks like in other companies or other business or how you do it, but just understand that. And also, you start to build things that other people want, your investors, or people who are funding your project. You start to build things that they see or they want because they're actually funding you. So that actually takes the entire process to an entirely different level. So those are some things to be mindful of. We won't get into the semantics of negotiation and how you structure your business deals, because that's solely on you to do that. And since you become a starter and you went ahead and started that and you have no excuses for it, you should be in charge of that as well. So that's all I have, at least for this book review. There's so many different tools and tips in this book, both in life, business, and sort of the startup software development culture, if you will. But those are the three that really stood out. Be a starter. There's no time for excuses, and avoid accepting money. In some cases it may work out, but let's just say that's your last resort. Outside money is plan Z. So that's all I have for today. Definitely recommend this book. It's an awesome read. Check it out. And if you don't know them, Google them and check them out too. Great individuals for Chicago and software development as a whole. As always, if you like this video for any other reason, for knowledge, if you gained something, please thumb it up. If you felt that someone else could benefit from it, please share it and subscribe. I'll be doing more as usual. And as always, to know more is to grow more, and to learn more is to earn more. So continue learning. Peace. I think I'm going to do a song called Rework, Rework, and then just go to work.